Say hi, Boom. Hello, Captain TJ here. It's May 7th, 2018. It's Monday, and this past week's been good. I hope you made it out on the water. The tides got right, the water clarity got right, and the bite got right. So that added up for some good fishing. We were able to limit out a couple of days. One day we were able to limit out on trout early by 11 o'clock, which gave us the whole rest of the day to do some triple tail fishing. The trout were in the 17, 18 inch range for the most part. Had some dinks in there, but also had some really good trout. And none of those real borderline fish. There weren't really a lot of 13, 14, 15 inchers. They were either the big ones or the really small ones. And those were all in the ICW. We just moved around, fished shell beds with current, and you just had to keep plugging along, and once you found the bite was really good. So water temperature's up around 75. That's what you're really looking for, to see all the variety explode, and that's what we had this week. We were catching Spanish mackerel in the ICW. We had some really nice black drum, redfish, flounder, we saw some sheep's head, didn't catch them, but we could see them up on top of some shell beds and stuff. So anyway, that was the inshore story. Water clarity got good, tides got good, we caught fish. So the day that we limited out by 11 o'clock, and we decided to go spend the rest of our day triple tail fishing, we were on our way out and almost ran over a triple tail, slowed down. As soon as we slowed down, we saw another one. Caught that one within seconds, and by the time we could get that one unhooked, we saw another one, and it was basically like that for an hour or more. Just one fish after another. But they were very, very wary, which is to be expected because the weather's been nice, visibility has been good, and the fish have been out there, so naturally there's been a lot of boats out there. And those fish are sensitive to pressure. Once they've been casted at or run over by a boat a couple of times, they're going to get wary. They're going to be harder to catch. And when you do get your bites, out of all the fish we saw, we got 2 bites. Caught that very first one, and then we hooked a really good one that we actually mistook for a turtle at first, and we wound up losing it. He ate it coming at the boat, so when we set the hook, he swam directly at the boat, shaking his head, and shook the hook right out. So said all that to say this: right now, when you get out there and you see those triple tail, it's tough to get the bites. So hopefully when you do get the bites, you make it count. Moving out a little bit further, out to the reefs, Spanish mackerel bite, really good. No shortage of the Spanish out there. You can either go out there and drag some bait. There's a lot of small pogies on the beach. Shouldn't be any trouble at all throwing the net and catching those pogies. So you can go out there, drift around with some live baits out, or troll them, whatever you want to do. Or you can go out there and bottom fish, and when you see the Spanish pop up, you can throw spoons. Either way, you should be able to have a good time doing that. Also out there, speaking of bottom fishing, cobia, they're definitely out there. The guys down in Jack's and south of Jack's are catching them out on the beach sight fishing. Here they're out primarily in 60+ feet of water, but by the time you watch this, they're going to be getting even closer. Every day they're going to be closer and closer into the beach, culminating the week before Memorial Day, which is when they're usually out about 10 miles, and that's when you can go out there, fish those wrecks, and see 10, 15, 20 fish on one wreck sometimes. So that's why I say, if you go out there, bring some pogies, send them down to the bottom, and you might just get surprised by the man in the brown suit if you can keep your bait away from the pogies. I like to use a big bucktail, stick a pogie on it, send it down to the bottom. That way, if the pogie gets knocked off by the sea bass, you still have a bucktail down there, and a cobia will eat just the bucktail. So that's just one little trick that I use to get more, to capitalize more on the time per drop, I guess. And then moving out a little bit further, the blue water bite's been good. Seen a lot of dolphin coming in from South Carolina down into South Florida. It seems like everybody's catching the mahi really good. So that's pretty much it. Tide's been good this week. Water clarity's good. Lots of bait in the river, small pogies, glass minnows, that kind of thing. So the trout bite was really good. With all the bait being in there, that's also pushed other things like Spanish mackerel into the river. So plenty to do in the intercoastal, but expect the beach bite. Expect the beach bite to go off. Nobody wants to be the first one to go down there and try it, but any day now is going to get good, and everybody's going to hear about it, and the beach is going to get loaded with boats until further notice. So that's it. I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, I generally am a little bit more concise when I write my fishing report. So go to charterfish.com, check out the latest report, and give it a read, and you won't have to deal with all of my rambling. So thanks, good luck out there, and tight lines.